but from the context we can understand.
No, even from the
It
context.
doesn't mean that if you have the Trinity, the persons will not communicate with each other the way they want to. So it's not that the Holy Spirit wouldn't communicate with the
Okay,
Father,
now
the Son,
you have assumed a lot of
way.
things there. None of that is in the Bible. That the Trinity communicate with each other. When did you ever see the Holy Spirit speaking to the Father?
I haven't seen the Holy Spirit necessarily speaking to the Father, but
Exactly.
When,
So why you assume things?
when God says, "Let us make man in our image,"
Yes.
let us go down and inspect what happens with the Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
So obviously there is a conversation going between the different persons.
So you're saying because he uses the term us and we, you think there is more than one person?
Yes.
Why do you think that? Have you actually looked at the Semitic languages, how they formulate the phrases? Okay, for example,
Yes.
if in the Semitic language the term for respect is us and we, and it doesn't denote plural, specifically when God is speaking. Okay? Yeah. So yeah, the Queen of England or even the monarch in Oman, if you look at the constitution of Oman, he speaks as of we and us because he's a monarch, he's a king. So the kings and queens use this terminology to refer to themselves. So it's a singular person speaking in a way as if it seems plural, but it's not, because it's a mark of respect and reverence.
Yes, I believe there is plural of respect in the Hebrew language,
yes.
but it doesn't use pronouns. For example, if you want to use plural of respect to your master, say you are a servant, you say my masters. So you apply the plural to the noun, not to the pronoun like we and us.
No, it does, even to the pronouns. I think you're mistaken. Maybe you should go and ask a Hebrew person whether they use we and us as pronouns for one person. Take Elohim. Do you believe Elohim is a singular or plural?
But it is a noun.
Yeah, I know. That is another example I'm giving you.
Plural, yes.
So Elohim is plural all the time?
Yes.
Can you refer to a single person?
Yes.
You can?
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, because it is plural of majesty, but it is a noun. So what I'm saying is that you can apply in the Hebrew language, you can apply plural of majesty using nouns, but you cannot apply it using pronouns. So when you say
no, you can't.
Let us, okay, that's my understanding.
You can use it for pronouns, and you can use it for nouns as well. But then the verb will define whether the noun that's been used is something of majesty or it's of plurality.
Okay,
so you have to look into that. Yeah.
I would check it out.
So I think we have gone away from the discussion about the salvation, because you see in Islam we believe.
All I want to know from you is why do you think that Paul?
Well, I gave you an example.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to tell me?
Yeah, the laws of God. Take for example circumcision.
Okay.
Yes. So circumcision is something that was a covenant established with Abraham.
Yes.
So not with the Jews, because many people misunderstand that it is a covenant with the Jews. Abraham was not a Jew. Okay.
True.
So we need to bear that in mind. Abraham was someone who worshipped one Almighty God, a unipersonal God, one God. Yeah. Okay, he never mentioned any Trinity or anything like that. So we believe that he believed in one God, and he was given a covenant. One of the covenants is the covenant of circumcision, and he was told to circumcise himself
and his family
and his children, and his children and his servants and so on, and for his progeny basically. Yes. So he said, this is a covenant given to you until the end of time. Yes?
Yes, true.
Was Jesus circumcised?
Yes.
Yes? So he followed the covenant of Abraham.
Sure.
Yes? Obviously his parents must have circumcised him. He didn't know much at that age. But the point is this. He never stopped anyone being circumcised. Yes? He did not say...
Jesus.
Yes, Jesus.
Yes, sure.
Jesus did not, when he was also a 30-year-old man, he never asked anyone that they should not be circumcised, because now we have a new covenant. Okay? With my covenant, circumcision stops. However, the person who actually stopped it was Paul. He said it's a circumcision of the heart and not of the flesh. Now this is a change in a covenant established until the end of time. Maybe Paul thought this was the end of time, so let's stop it.
But did he say that
The Romans were very anti-circumcision.
Yeah, but the Romans were not, they were not following the law.
Maybe one last question. Maybe one last question.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, my brother.
Yeah, sure. No problem. So, about what he said, did Paul stop any Jews from being circumcised, or did he say to the Gentiles only, don't be circumcised?
But isn't that a bit unfair? Because if a law of God applies, it should apply to everyone. Why do you differentiate based on the race?
Because there could be different dispensations sometimes.
How? If it's a law of God, shouldn't God be just with everyone with the same law? Why do you have a different law for the Gentiles and a different law for the Jews?
Okay.
Because I see that as God, you're portraying God as a racist. Yes? In a way that he has a different law and a different set of rules for the Jews, and for the non-Jews a different one. For example, Jesus himself, he called the Gentiles dogs and swine. Do not throw in front of the dogs and swine lest they trample under their feet.
Well, the Greek word there is more gentle.
Yeah, but Jesus didn't speak Greek. Come on, we know that.
Well, actually, he probably did.
Okay, what is the Greek word for dog? A small dog? A puppy?
The word he uses there is kinaris.
Which is?
Kinaris, which means small dogs.
Exactly.
Like,
So you're
like domestic dogs.
So you're saying
that
calling a woman who comes for your help. Imagine you're the only person who can help a woman with her child. Yes? Do you think you can get away from me, you little puppy? You'll say that to her?
I wouldn't.
This is how they try to trivialize.
I wouldn't, but again, I don't know in that context.
You can't be more holy than Jesus, can you?
No.
You can't be more loving than Jesus.
No.
So you're saying if you couldn't, how could the one who is your role model did it? You see what I mean?
Okay,
So even if you try to trivialize this term, dogs, and it is translated as dogs in all the Bibles that I've seen, no one translated it as puppy. Why is that? Because that is what it actually means in that context. You see what I mean? Yes? Obviously not a literal dog, we know that. But you know when you insult someone who comes for your help, yes, that is the worst insult. If anyone she was literally on her knees, begging Jesus to help her with a child. But he not only calls her dog, he calls her kind dog. I do not cause the bread of the children to the dogs, plural. Yes? Who are the children here? The Bani Israel, the children of Israel, the Jews in this context. Who are the dogs? Everybody else. So you see, this is an insult and a derogatory term and a phrase used at that time to insult the non-Jews.
You know, I'll have to look into this. Sometimes, Jesus,
My friend, because you looked into it, that's why you said the Greek word is
Yes,
puppies.
I have.
So you already looked into it.
I have, because I have read, when I read the Bible, I read the commentary, but if you bring something up, then I will look into it more intently.
And there's another one in Matthew 7:6, I believe, where he says, do not cast the pearls in front of the swine.
Yeah, sure.
And I think mentions the dogs as well, lest they trample it under their feet.
Yes.
Yes? And that is also, do you believe, referring to the Gentiles?
I think this could refer to anyone who could be hostile to the gospel and to the message.
It wasn't about the Gospels, it was about the scriptures. At that time, the Gospels were not written. So Jesus is speaking about the scriptures, which was the Jewish scriptures actually, at that time.
Do you remember, do you want us to
Yeah, Matthew 7:6, I believe.
Okay.
Or 7:3 or 7:6, somewhere there. At the beginning of Matthew.
Is being mic'd up by you.
So what I'm saying is that
It's being mic'd up and filmed by an Anjum Chowdhury.
at the end of the day, if you investigate and look into something, then you should look at the context.
Yes, sure.
And calling anyone dogs is not something that should be taken out of context. Because we know that when a teacher like Jesus comes, he's supposed to impart good message, a good role model, not calling people dogs. Because calling someone dogs is, as a racist term, to insult them is a sin as far as I think.
I have to look specifically into this.
No
For
problem.
example, sometimes Jesus says to Mary, woman, why do you do this? Why do you do that? So I wouldn't call a woman. But at that time, maybe that meant madam or something like that. So I have to look more specifically about what he said about the dogs. And we said Matthew 7, about the swine. What verse did you say?
Matthew 7:6, I believe. Is it there?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. Do not give the dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to the pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces.
Yeah. So I think the sacred
Is there no problem
might refer
associated
to
with
anyone, including Jews.
praying
Yeah.
with Andrew Chowdhury?
Not give
Seriously, you guys,
sacred
you
message
have no shame.
to
This cameraman is an
a
Andrew
Jew or
Chowdhury
to
supporter.
I think we should probably end this because we got a heckler here, and we want to just probably end it, inshallah.
Thank you for your time.
Filmed by an Andrew Chowdhury supporter. Do not worry, the implications for your Dawah are being filmed by an Andrew Chowdhury. Hashim, do you have no concerns about being filmed by this man?